What is up, everyone? It's Ryan, living in Cambodia, making videos so you can see what it's like to live in the Kingdom of Wonder. This is just a little cafe stop we're at. Cute little spot. It's called Food Break. And we're parked over here. And this is the road we've been driving on. We're on day 3 of our Koh Kong adventure. This is the 3rd video in the series. Hey, we got some iced coffees coming. So this spot we're going to is pretty special. I don't want to spoil too much, but stay tuned. It's going to be amazing, and we're headed there very shortly. This is National Road 48, and it tears through Koh Kong province. Well, it doesn't always tear. Sometimes it slops.
I just want to put that camera away now.
But whether the road is complete or it's under construction, there always seems to be some beauty surrounding us. After about 2 hours of driving, we ended up in Tra Pang Ruin, where we stashed our bike and got on a boat for a 1-hour journey down the river.
So this is our swimming pool, by the way. There is nothing upriver. There's no villages, there's no agriculture, so we are lucky to have one of the only unpolluted rivers in the country. You can see our zip line. We have a zip line across the river here.
I want to do it.
This is the Cardamom Tented Camp, and for the next 2 nights and 3 days, we will be soaking in its awesomeness. Pretty quiet out here, and this is our abode, the number 2 tent, the leopard tent. Pretty snazzy. Nice little seats out front. Let's have a look inside. Sarah's locked me out. Gotta keep that closed. Well, I was just trying to get in to do a video, and I wanted to make it smooth, but then you check it out. This is nice. Got a little desk over here. Got a reflection of me, which is always a bonus. And there's a bathroom in here. We got a shower, toilet, sink, and all that. I won't go into that, but pretty good. Pretty good. This is glamping, glamour camping, aka famping. Are you enjoying your famping? But this is just the accommodations. The real highlight is the water, the safari we're gonna go on later. What else we got planned? A hike tomorrow. So much to do. 2 days to do it. I'm excited. Go for a swim? Yes. So there's rumors that there's creatures in this water, little humanoid creatures that spring up and try to grab you. I don't know, I haven't seen any yet. But, oh my god!
Is it deep?
Wonderful. Sarah's on the treadmill, the swimming treadmill. That looks pretty fun. I don't have to hold anything.
Up to you. You hold or you don't hold. Let both your hand go. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Thank you. Woo. All right.
Ooh, okay. Okay, you can stand up on the table.
Yeah. That was fun.
Okay.
That was fun. And while Sarah enjoys a little R&R by the R, I decided to catch up with Allan, the man in charge of this operation.
I've been in Cambodia for 24 years, and the first 16 of those as a wildlife photographer and cameraman, making films for local TV and conservation groups. I joined this a few months into the construction, and I've been running it ever since we finished it in December 2017. Cardamom Tented Camp is first and foremost a conservation project. We basically pay for the protection of this area, which is 10% of Botum Sakor National Park. It's a tourism concession owned by one of the conservation groups, and the idea was to protect some of what was left of the park, because most of 77% has been sold to businesses. Most of the elephants that live in the central Cardamom Mountains come into Botum Sakor for the wet season, and the idea was to try and save something for them. So we control 18,000 hectares here, and we have 18 rangers to protect the area, and this is what we pay for. So this is run on a completely non-profit basis. We opened in 2017 after 7 months of construction through the wet season, which was entertaining. And yeah, we've been roaring even through COVID, and here we are. We just expanded from 9 to 12 tents. I live here 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year. Wow. I do get to pop back to Phnom Penh from time to time for shopping, but pretty much here. There are currently 16 staff for the whole camp. We're doing everything. So we have 3 guides, the cooks, the cleaners and so forth. So it's quite a lot of work. And we all live here on site. I mean, it's a long way from, we're 13 kilometers to the nearest village. So from my perspective as a tree hugger and kind of conservationist, this is a really nice project to be working on. You know, we're doing something genuinely useful here. It's a really nice project to be in charge of and to be running. It can be hard work, but it's a pleasure to be doing this.
This river is the highlight of this whole area. Fantastic river. It's actually a little bit salty, brackish water, just a touch up here. The more you go that way, the saltier it gets, mixes in with the ocean water, and the tide actually affects the levels of the water. So right now it's at high tide, and by this evening I would say low tide. I'm not sure exactly the timing, but what is that? Skink. I see you, Skinky. Find an area in Cambodia where you can't hear logging, you can't hear boats going by, you can't hear anything. It's just so quiet on that river. Like, the only people you see going by are the park rangers every once in a while, but that's it. It's quiet, it's super quiet. It's really rare in Cambodia for it to be this quiet. Just birds and bugs. No KTV. Ooh.
So this is the original system, and then we just had these ones put in. So we run entirely on solar. We have a very large solar system which runs the camp 24 hours a day. Otherwise, we use septic tanks and bacteria to treat the waste. It's completely self-sustaining here. We recycle literally everything we use here and compost all our food waste. There's very little actual waste which needs to be got rid of, which we burn at the village.
So it's one of the most eco-friendly places in Cambodia?
I'm not aware of anyone else being anywhere close to what we're doing here. I'm very proud of what we've achieved with this. This is as eco-friendly as we can possibly manage.
That's great. That night we got on a boat and we started searching for some nocturnal wildlife. We saw a few things, but the highlight for me was the Cardamom Mountains green pit viper, a venomous snake. But the highlight wasn't just seeing it. At this point I turned the camera off and I grabbed the binoculars to get a close-up view of the snake. Suddenly it turned towards us, jumped into the water and swam right at the boat. The driver splashed water at it, hoping to scare it, but it didn't deter the pissed off snake. So we turned the motor on and drove off just as it reached the boat. Was he being aggressive?
Snake's got some big balls.
I saw that.
Wow. That was cool. The snake just tried to attack us.
Trying to get in the boat.
Yeah. Oh, it's about 6:30 in the morning, and we're gonna go grab a quick breakfast, and then we're gonna hit the hiking trail. Actually, we're gonna paddle, take a kayak to a hiking trail, and then hike. First night survived. The bed was really comfy, super quiet, so I slept pretty well. All right, heading out. Super peaceful out here, it's amazing. Sorry, it's hard to film and paddle. This is the old ranger station.
This is our old station.
See?
It was abandoned 3 years already. 3 years. The reason it was abandoned because in the year 2020, the water flood up here.
Really?
Yeah, just around a few hours. And that time the tide comes from the sea, and we have a lot of rain.
From there, we set off on a 2-hour hike back to the camp.
We asked him to cut a tree, and he doesn't recognize this tree. He cut on this tree, and he ran quickly to the tree and jumped off and wrapped around. He said, very itchy.
Very wow.
He what?
Said, very itchy.
There's a lot of different wildlife in this area, but unfortunately there's not a lot of it.
I was very lucky enough to see our elephants about 18 months ago. We were travelling down in the boat to pick up some guests, and we had a group of 3 elephants trying to cross the river, which was quite special. As someone who's been running around the jungle here for 24 years, you do not see wild elephants very often. But we have some incredibly wild, rare species. We have squeaky
What are you guys
shoes.
talking about?
We're doing a quick interview on camera, so.
You want to be in the video? YouTube story?
Apart from the elephants, we are home to dhole, which are a wild dog. They are close to extinction across Asia. And we have probably the biggest group in Cambodia. They are very important to the survival of the species. We're also home to a number of other critically endangered species.
I would say the lack of wildlife is due to 3 things. Number 1, deforestation, the loss of homes for the animals. This area was heavily deforested back in the 90s. None of this is primary forest. The number 2 reason, they say Cambodians will eat anything with 4 legs except a table. Wild meat, still to this day, is relied on by people in Cambodia, but animals are also poached for their value.
Yeah, hunting. I mean, what the rangers are dealing with on a daily basis, hunting is the big issue here. Logging is not really a problem anymore, but hunting is. Snares are the biggest issue all over the country because they are so damaging to everything. I mean, literally anything can get caught in them, so it's a real shame.
And what are people trying to catch?
I mean, the prize here would be maybe a pangolin because it's worth a lot of money, but also wild pigs, deer are worth a great deal of money to local restaurants.
This is a bomb breaker.
And this is the 3rd reason. Cambodia is one of the most bombed countries in the entire world. The Cambodian Mine Action Center estimates that there may be as many as 4 to 6 million mines and other pieces of unexploded ordnance in Cambodia.
So the document said the reason they dropped the bomb here, they want to drop north of Vietnam, but the weather cloudy, they cannot see the target. And then they not drop the bomb. They take the plane back to Thailand, but the plane already with the bomb, they cannot land with the bomb. So they just try to release the bomb from the plane, just dump here. Yes.
Since 1979, over 64,000 people have been killed or injured by explosive items. That's just people. It's impossible to say how many animals have met their fate due to these bombs. So you're not likely to see a ton of wildlife here, but hopefully that will change over time.
So the animal populations, the impacts we're seeing, definitely some increases, some changes. We have 5 families of gibbons that we can hear from around the camp, whereas originally it was only 3. Last year was quite a big surprise. We've been seeing wild pigs during the day, which is quite rare. They've very much become nocturnal over the past few decades because of all the hunting, and so we saw them 7 or 8 times with guests in the middle of the day, and that's really unusual. So that's a good indicator that things are improving.
But actually, Sara did come in contact with one animal.
Ew, he's feeding on me.
Yummy.
Oh my god. Der hat sie auch festgebissen. Jetzt.
Ja.
Oh.
I need to get a bit, Sara.
This one.
Ja, ja.
Just
Das ist ja auch, wenn sich einem festbleibt.
Now I'm gonna check my body. It's not just the leeches that are eating well today. When you stay at Cardamom Tented Camp, all your meals are covered, and they feed you quite well. This is some mango sticky rice for lunch dessert. Yes, lunch dessert. You gotta love a good lunch dessert. How's your leech bite now?
It's fine.
Stop bleeding.
Well, hopefully. Took a while.
Yeah, you bled through a couple band-aids.
They put anticoagulants in when they bite you, like a mosquito.
So I'm just venturing into the new area of camp along this boardwalk. They just built some new riverside tents. Let's go all the way to the end cabin. Hello? Anybody in here? Yeah, empty. So this is their newest one. And it's the same inside as ours, pretty much, other than it being a bit newer. Imagine getting up in the morning, getting a coffee, just sitting out here, watching the river. So if this didn't exist, would this area still be protected?
Absolutely not. This was bought as a tourist concession, and the government already tried to sell it and said if it's not got any tourism here, they will cancel it and it will be sold. So we are essential to the survival of this.
And are there any other places in Cambodia like this?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. Even across Southeast Asia, this is a real rarity. And we've won a lot of awards because of being how eco-friendly we are, but also because of how unique this is in the fact that this is paying entirely for the protection of this area. And that is unique. There's normally some other source of funding, but it's us. So we're it, and that's the whole point of it. So yeah, I'm very proud of this.
Allan's got a ton of great stories. He was the first person to photograph the giant ibis, which is Cambodia's national bird. At that time it wasn't, but his photographs ended up in National Geographic, and then Cambodia decided to make it their national bird. So he's had a huge impact on wildlife and the natural world in Cambodia. Getting all packed up, getting ready to go. One last look at this tent. I don't know if I showed you this tent, but this is what it looks like at the end of the trip when things are scattered a little bit. This bed has been great though. Man, I slept last night. Slept longer than I normally do. And you can see over here we got laid out, ready for the next drive.
The ugliest outfit in the world.
Hey, they see you coming in that outfit, that's for sure. The orange pants. Alright, we are out of here. We are on the boat back to civilization, I guess. Back to the motorcycle, and then it's 100 kilometers or so to Kiriram, where we're gonna stay a couple of nights and just check that out. It's kind of the closest cool down mountain resort area to Phnom Penh, so I've never been there. I want to see what that's like. But what a stay at Cardamom Tented Camp Village. It's a very unique place here in Cambodia, so definitely check it out if you are looking for a little relaxation, some nature, see some animals, get some good exercise in. I tell you, I am sore today from kayaking. I feel like my traps are ready to pop. Okay, but watch out for that stick over there.
It's your responsibility. Push it away. It's got
giant spikes on it. Big special thanks to the Cardamom staff and to Allan and all the people involved with kind of helping us get this trip organized. You can check the description below for a link to the Cardamom Tented Camp website, or just go to cardamontentedcamp.com. You can book on their website. It's a really cool place to visit, so do it. And we will see you guys in the next video. Take care, comb your hair. I'm out.
Don't match up.